Okay, it is our pleasure and honor as we kick off the Legend series or Legend edition of SoCon Fast Break, and we bring in a true legend. That is Mr. Jalen Slawson. And man, it has been a minute since we saw each other there at Furman, where the last time we were really together, Jalen, is I was there in front of your face, it seemed like each day during the season with a film crew trying to chronicle everything. I mean, it has been a while since we've been able to connect, but love having you on the show.
Yeah, appreciate it. Glad to be here. Just be easy on that. It's been a while. Making me feel old.
That's right. Well, for people that don't know, I did embed a film crew with the Furman team from that magical season 2022-23, capturing the SoCon Tournament Championship for the first time in 43 years. And you can check it out on Prime Video. And forever grateful for your participation, Jalen, and making it such a special documentary and a special season. Ended up getting an Emmy nomination for Best Sports Documentary. So you're part of something that is extremely near and dear to my heart. But I do need to walk back in a little bit of history, though, because obviously we spent time together throughout the season and then even several hours after the season reflecting. But now it's been 3 years. So how is your memory of that whole season and that whole project there as we filmed that documentary?
Yeah, I mean, the year before, I mean, everything, when we talk about that year, everything as magical as it was, I think everything goes to the year before.
Yes.
Just like the heartbreak and the agony of the year before. And, Mike and my decision to come back was like, I can't speak for Mike, but knowing Mike, I would like to say that it was very similar. But as soon as that shot went in, I knew that I was coming back, and I assumed Mike's was, pretty hasty as well. But, that right there, that pain and that that agony of that game really let me know right then that, I've got one more shot at this, and like, I'll be damned if I don't go out of here a SoCon champion.
For certain. And that's why, I've had several people talk to me about the docuseries and about that season more than anything in terms of, oh, wow, what a great run. You're able to upset Virginia in the NCAA tournament. How amazing was that? And I have to remind people that was just icing on the cake. This was all about winning the SoCon tournament championship.
Yeah. I mean, we knew that we could play with anybody in the country. I mean, any team that Coach Richie rolls out there year in and year out competes with anybody in the country. We've been prepped for it. We played a really tough non-conference schedule. So the goal, to get there, once we get there, we felt like we could compete with anybody and then let the cards fall where they may in the tournament.
No question. All right. One thing that I didn't ask you, and I wanted to ask you now, going back to that loss to Chattanooga, and not to bring up some of those memories, but you were able to capture that title, so it's all good now. But one of the questions that I had was based on our conversation, and you're talking about there where you're not able to play in overtime because of the injury. You take a hard shot there on the baseline, get stepped on, have a concussion, all of that. And I know you were very frustrated that you didn't get back in the game. And you talked about that it was the right decision, that Coach Richie wasn't going to allow you back in the game. But is there a little bit within you and yourself that you really wanted to be back out there? And would it have been easier, or maybe not easier, but could you have handled the loss a little bit better, knowing that you were at least out on the court rather than just sitting watching it from the bench?
Yeah, Coach Richie's never going to compromise his morals for a win or a loss on the court. That's just how he is. That's how he operates. That's how he runs his program. And I think any competitor is always going to want to be out there, barring any, this is before NIL, before college guys who are load managing. So, at that point in time, any competitor is going to want to be out there, especially in a championship game.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a double-edged sword because, would it have been easier for me personally to accept the loss with me being out there on the floor? Yeah. I mean, that year I was the defensive player of the year. I felt like, our lineups were better, had a better chance to get a stop if I was in the game. Now, the other side of that is if I'm out there and I'm concussed, and he scores, is everybody else like, well, if we would have had somebody who was healthy in there, would they be able to get a stop? Was Slaw a step behind because he was concussed, or whatever the case may be. So, the cards played out like they were supposed to. God had his plan, and that night it was for Chat to be the winners of that game, and we don't know why, never will know why, but that's how the cards played out, and it's unfortunate, but he had a tough shot. It's not like he got an easy look off.
No, that's right.
He threw up a prayer, but it went in, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, and that's part of March Madness. That's one of the reasons why we love this time of year is we see those type of shots.
100%.
Slaw, what's your fondest memory of that 22-23 team? Because that was a special group. Like, I'm honored to have come into that and be so welcomed by everybody, and that's just not the norm, right? Like, what's your fondest memory of that group? Because that's the greatest group I've ever been around. It just is.
That group was special, man, and every group that puts on all 17 players, 18 players, however many guys we have, including the walk-ons, that wear a Furman jersey. They're all pretty special groups. Furman does a great job getting high character people, and I've always been, somebody who would question Richie when he was like, oh, when you're done, you're not going to remember all the on the court stuff. It's going to be the off the court stuff and blah, blah, blah. But literally, I swear to y'all, we would go sit in Johnny's apartment, like the whole team, like Friday night, Saturday night. We would all go sit in Johnny's apartment and play Super Smash Bros. For like hours and hours and hours when we weren't in season. Like over summer, early fall, like if we didn't have anything to do Saturday, we were probably over there playing Super Smash Bros. Until like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like we're going over there as everybody else is going out, and like they're going downtown or whatever. We're walking into Johnny's apartment to play Super Smash Bros. And then everybody's night is like ending, like everybody's coming back home from downtown, and we're leaving Johnny's apartment from playing Super Smash Bros. So like that really was a fun team. We spent a lot of time together, but another time is, dude, that COVID year. The COVID year, we weren't supposed to be hanging out. And Mike, I don't know if you guys watch it, but the 3 Ps in a Pod podcast that Mike, Garrett, and JP, Mike, Garrett, and Reese do. Dude, that COVID year was so much fun because it was much of the same. We were like, the COVID year, we were really forced to hang out with each other. And we technically weren't supposed to be hanging out with each other, but it was worth the risk when you're that close, and we were going to go crazy just sitting in our apartment, just Mike and I, as much as we love each other, you all know, if you're trapped inside of an apartment with somebody for 20 hours a day, eventually there's going to be some.
Yes.
So it was great to get around the whole team. But yeah, those are definitely some of the most fun memories. It's not anything on the court or, like we went to the Bahamas for my foreign trip, and I'm sitting here talking about playing Super Smash Bros.
That's right.
Right.
It's amazing how those are the most important things, or the things that are just burnt in your memory and your emotions there. And I do have to ask you though, Jalen, just in terms of, you talked about the transfer portal, as you guys were at the tail end of what the old school was there in college athletics. How hard would it have been for you, say you're in this day and age, to be able to stay at Furman?
I don't think it would have been that hard. What Coach Richie and I have is, and DA can speak to this a little bit, I don't think that we have a normal coach-to-player relationship. It's very different. I don't really know how to describe it. Like his kids refer to me as their big brother. Anytime Mac or Audrey have a question about something that they don't want to ask their parents, they call me, they text me. Anytime Mac needs Coach Richie to get something for him, to do something for him, he calls me and it's like, hey, can you tell my dad to do this for me? Like literally 2 months ago, he's like FaceTiming me off Coach Richie's MacBook. I'm getting a call from a MacBook at like 11:30 at night. I'm like, what does Richie want at 11:30 at night? And I pick up the phone and it's Mac. He's like, dude, can you tell my dad to give me a phone? I'm like,
I figured it might be some J's or something, but
yeah, no. Can you tell my dad to give me a phone? But like our relationship was not normal, and I think that made it easier for me. You know, I've always respected him so much because he could have left. He could have went to go get more money or whatever the case may be. But, you know, he trusted me a lot as a freshman and a sophomore. And so I felt like wherever he was at is where I was going to be. Now, if he left, then yeah, some doors would open. But yeah, it wasn't, I mean, I had the ability to, I could have left, going into the year we lost to Chat and going into the year that we won the championship, and I could have made a decent bit of money, but, you know, probably wouldn't be where I am today either.
And I think that's a huge piece of it. Kind of two things you mentioned there to follow up on, Slaw, is like the trust that Coach Richie has, like combining that with still having everyone's respect and still getting everybody to be in line. Like, can you speak to a little bit of that? Because I do think that's where he has, like, that's one of his superpowers is he has a leash where, like, he respects everybody, 18 to 22-year-old young men as adults, but, like, he's able to rein that back in where everybody really stays in line. And, like, I just don't think that happens everywhere. Can you speak a little bit more about that and like how that balances and how you guys dealt with that? Because it does take a certain amount of maturity on your guys' end, but it takes a certain amount of comfortability on Coach Richie's end to say, like, look, I got to let these guys breathe a little bit, but at the same time, I got to be a big time leader so that when the you know what hits the fan, like they're gonna follow me because they trust me.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think two things on that. First, I think that starts with, you know, recruiting high character people. You know, people who come from good families have, you know, high character and have high standards for themselves. But I mean, I think it shows the most in this year's team, you know, rocking out with the 4 freshmen, you know, Colin O'Neill early, before his injury, I remember texting Coach Richie and was like, hey, I really like this kid. Don't know why, but really like this kid. Obviously Baba, and then Alex Wilkins, is a freaking stud. But
Yeah.
he said early, we're gonna take some lumps with this kid early in the season, and it's my risk that it's gonna pay off later on in the year. And he did a similar thing with me. My sophomore year, he started me because he wanted me to be better for my junior, senior, and eventually, at that time we didn't know I was going to have it, but my fifth year. And people don't understand how important those game reps are. They're just, there's nothing that gets you ready quite like a game does. You can try to simulate whatever you want to in practice, but nothing will get you ready like a game. And I think that when he does that and you see him do that as a player, whether you're the person that, he's starting or you're somebody else who sees that, you can respect it, because you don't get to play high-level college basketball by being somebody who's not a risk taker. You got to take risks. Richie always calls himself a riverboat gambler. Now he takes some gambles, and I think everybody can respect that when you're in the organization.
Yeah, no question about it. And I would have to say he's taken some calculated risk. He knew what he had in you, that's for certain. And he knows what he's got with some of these other freshmen that have burst onto the scene. And speaking of like preparation and development, yes, you were the 54th pick in the NBA draft there in 2023 with the Sacramento Kings, and now just got called up from the G League with the Indiana Pacers there with Rick Carlisle. And hey, man, fantastic night last night. 32 minutes, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Man, you're flirting with a triple-double right there. So nice job. I know you guys didn't get the win, but talk about just that transition from SoCon Furman basketball to what is it like, the grind, the G League, and then getting called up to the NBA and almost sitting there waiting for your agent to call in anticipation when you're going to get that call.
Yeah. First of all, let me tell y'all, the G League is a league like no other. It is the fastest league in the world. I've had 22 teammates on my team this year, on my G League team. We've had 25 guys on the roster this year. And this is probably the most well-functioning organization that I've been with of the three. And we still had 25 players on the roster at some point in time this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a wild league. It's a great league. It's really fun to play in. You see some great talent in there, but it is a crazy league. The 1-for-2 free throws, there's a bunch of stuff right there, and the game's so fast. If you're not caught up, your head will spin. You'll be spinning. But I think, back to kind of sitting there waiting for your agent, I think that's kind of what I did all of last year, and I just didn't play as well as I could have. And this summer, me and my agent were talking, and obviously, we've passed up some EuroLeague deals for almost NBA money, close to NBA money. But I think I called you to talk to you about one last year, DA. Over in Italy. But I called my agent this summer when we were talking about it, and I was like, I know what I'm doing. And he was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to play this last year. I'm going to start off in the G. If we don't get anything, we'll go to Puerto Rico in the summer, and we'll just go EuroLeague next year. And he was like, you know what, Slaw? Like, if you're gambling on yourself, I'm gambling with you. Like, let's do it. And I wound up paying off. but yeah, I didn't want to just be comparing myself to anybody else. Just wanted to run my own race, and at the end of the year, I just know that, I was right where I was supposed to be.
Oh yeah, there's no question from that standpoint, and I think it's just a tribute to your mindset and that grind, so to speak, and being able to understand you can bet on yourself. And you talk about Bob Richey, being the gambler there. I think you're doing the same thing. You know what you're made of, and be able to take that risk from that perspective. But I do also just need to understand, what is the daily life like for you, just in terms of game day, off days? What is that like in the NBA?
So like today we play again tonight. We play the Knicks here tonight. Coach Carlisle does stuff a little different. So game days, he does nothing in the morning. So he'll do nothing in the morning, but we'll have to be there around 4-ish for a walkthrough. So once you're there from 4, or once you're there at 4, you'll go through your walkthrough, whatever. Go through walkthrough, get treatment, eat a pregame meal, warm up, and then you'll play the game, lift after the game. And then a normal practice day for me, being a two-way guy, I have one of the earlier shooting times. So it'll be 9:30, 10 o'clock development, 10, 15, 10:20 treatment, and then 10:40 weights for an 11 o'clock practice. 11 o'clock, shower, go get something to eat, come home, take a nap, play some video games for a little while, go back to the gym later, depending on, what we have the next day. If we got a practice day the next day, I'll probably go get some more shots up, go get some more work in. If we got a game, probably watch some film. But yeah, definitely not a life I could complain about living. Sure.
Yeah, no doubt from that perspective. Hey, and the key is still get those naps in, man. Those are part of that recovery. You got to get them in, right?
Yeah, it's crazy the difference. When I first got to Furman, Richie was so anti-nap. He was so anti-nap. Like, he'd be like, "What are you about to do?" I'll be like, "Well, I got class in 2 hours. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna nap for an hour." It's like, what's the point of napping for an hour? Come get some more shots up. Like, dude, an hour you can make 200 shots. And then versus now, he's like, yeah, go get your nap. You need that nap. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help you for tomorrow. So it's become like a habit almost at this point. It's definitely become a habit on practice days to get a nap.
Yeah,
and it kind of messes with me. It's too cold up here to golf. When I was in Orlando, I was golfing like 5 times a week, so that might interfere with my nap time sometimes. But
yeah, of course. All right, what's the handicap now these days, Paul?
Whoa, we're still or fighting to break 80. We're hovering around 80 right now. So
hey, that's
we're
good,
fighting to
man.
break 80.
Hey, we're gonna get out there this offseason.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to get you your bags too. Text me and remind me that once we're done.
All good. Hey, it's all good.
Yeah, well, hey, he'll know where to find you. Also, hey, Rick Carlisle is one of my favorites. And how often, though, because I do it all the time, I'm looking at Rick Carlisle and I'm thinking, man, there's Jim Carrey on the sidelines. He looks like a spitting image of Jim Carrey, man. Do people say that?
I mean, to me, Rick Carlisle looks like Rick Carlisle, and Jim Carrey might look like Rick Carlisle.
Yeah,
but,
there you go.
To me, it's Rick Carlisle is 1A for sure.
I love it. All right, so Jalen, the big news obviously also is that Furman wins another Southern Conference Tournament championship, back into the NCAA tournament. Your thoughts on what you saw from the Paladins this season, and then heading into the NCAA tournament, and what's it like Selection Sunday and that feeling of finding out where you're going?
Yeah. kind of hit on it earlier, but just super proud of those guys for sticking with it. You know, it's not easy to go into a SoCon tournament as a 6 seed and win the whole thing. Now, obviously, I believe they're the most talented team in the league and have by far the best coach in the league. And I don't know who is picking the coach of the year. Again, no shade to Brooke Savage, but why has Bob Richey not been the coach of the year in the Southern Conference?
Yeah.
Not one time.
Yeah, crazy.
Like I said, absolutely no shade to Brooke Savage. But while I'm on this topic, I think that some people expected him to win the Southern Conference the year Mike and I won it. And I think that, yes, while we were the most talented team in the league, I think that, and DA can speak to this, one of the things he did the best from that year, the X's and O's are always going to be there, for him. Mm-hmm. He's just so smart, but just managing personalities. We had so many personalities on that team. And we had so many dudes who, sacrificed so much, but being able to keep everybody happy was, just crazy.
I was going to say, to add to that too, like you and Mike deserve flowers for that too. And obviously coach does as well. 100% agree with you. But like you and Mike deserve major flowers for that too, because you guys did such a good job leading the way with that group and setting the example of like, look, if our two alphas can have role acceptance, we can have role acceptance. And honestly, yes, it's from the top down. There's no doubt. But if you guys don't lead the way you do, we don't do what we did that year. There's no doubt. So you guys definitely deserve your flowers for that as well.
Appreciate it. But I mean, that was anyways, I'm sorry I even got on this. This isn't about me. We're well past that. That was a Stone Age. Proud of these guys. And really proud of Alex, obviously. But also really proud of Cooper.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think Cooper has just figured out that he can literally leave his handprint on any game that he wants to. But, Vandy, obviously a freaking warrior, finds a way to compete night in and night out. Has had to deal with a lot of people saying a lot of things that, don't understand the game or whatever the case may be. And just kept fighting. And then, Charles Johnston, it's been huge for them. And then like all the freshmen, really proud of the freshmen for sticking with it. And it's hard. It's really hard to be a freshman for a Bob Richey led program, especially at Furman. Having to come in and deal with classes and weights and then you go down to practice and you're supposed to remember this crazy offense. And it's a lot. It's really a lot. It's hard to be a freshman at Furman. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, it makes your sophomore, junior, and senior year a lot easier once you get through it. Because once you get through that, it's like, okay, what can't I do?
Yeah. How much did that help you now in preparations where you are, G League and the NBA?
My freshman year, I was ready to go home. I was ready to be done with basketball. I swear. I'm like, dude, I got to wake up. I got class for 3 hours. These classes are so hard. Then I got to go to weights. And then I got to go to this 1.5-hour film session. I have no clue what's going on in film. I'm getting my behind kicked by Matt Rafferty every day in practice. I get out of getting my behind whooped by Matt Rafferty every day in practice, and you're telling me I got to sit in study hall for 2 hours? Like, where's my personal life supposed to be? Like, dude, this is not what I thought it was. But one thing that it did do, it gave me structure, and it helped me form habits that helped get me here. And I still have some of the habits that I developed when I was at Furman. I just also have a habit of napping now because I don't have Furman curriculum to deal with.
That's not a bad thing. All right, before we let you go, Jalen, just need to recap, though, again, the NCAA tournament run you had there in that 23 March Madness tournament. And I know there's all types of things that happened in that game. It was almost like a microcosm of the season, just the up and down and fighting through the adversity. Mike fouls out. You go on a 9-0 run yourself to help Furman get back in the lead there, and Virginia comes back. And what about, as much as we talk about J.P. Pegues and the shot, what about Garrett Hien and the 2 free throws? I mean, I don't know if that gets enough credit for him going to the free throw line as a 50% free throw shooter and knocking them down.
Marcus Foster's ex-girlfriend deserves all the credit.
Oh,
in the on the broadcast, you can literally see her. She is like in tears praying to God for Garrett to make these free throws. Garrett hadn't made a free throw in 5 years.
Hey, and that one hit every part of the rim.
Every part of the rim. But one thing about Garrett, he's a big time player. And God, he could miss some free throws and then come down and just bang a huge 3 for us. Especially in a big game.
Yes.
South Carolina game, my 5th year down in Charleston, he goes for 20 something. Obviously that game, and he gave up a 3. He gave up in the championship game. He gave up a 3. They cut it to 7. They had a little bit of life. And then Garrett came down and hit a left corner 3 off of a skip from either Vandy or Marcus, and kind of like took the hope back from him and went down the court, telling everybody to be quiet. And that's just the type of dude Garrett is. And love him, love Garrett. Huge part to our run for sure, and deserves some credit for getting the steal in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And in the pass ahead to JP.
Yeah.
I know you were open also, Slaw.
Yeah.
You could have easily received that pass right there.
I don't care if Garrett shot it from half court if he made it.
Yes.
That's right. Yes. No question about it. Well, Jalen, we can't thank you enough, my man. I know you've got to get things going here for the rest of the day and make sure you're saving enough time for that nap. But your final thoughts, Furman Paladins heading to the NCAA tournament, how do they match up?
I mean, I think they match up well. I think anybody with only a couple days heads up, hey, you've got to go scout this offense. Good luck. I think they're huge. They've got high major size. And I think they're playing with a ton of confidence right now. And I think they've got a pretty elite lob threat big that, can alter a lot of shots. So, super excited. Hopefully they send them down to Tampa. We know what the Dens do in the first round in Florida.
That's right.
I know that the fans will show up to Tampa. Why not go get a good little 3-4 day weekend in and some good weather and hang out by the beach, and then watch the Dens play.
There you go. You heard it right there from Jalen Slawson, now with the Indiana Pacers, former Southern Conference Player of the Year and the 2022-23 SoCon Tournament champion. Jalen, can't thank you enough, my friend. We greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Darren. Absolutely fantastic to have Slaw on. Just great memories walking down memory lane, but so excited for his career in the NBA.
Incredible. I mean, I think what he's done this year just is a testament to his work ethic, his commitment. I mean, he's had an incredible year. Like we talked about a little bit, just a couple minutes ago, he had opportunities to go elsewhere, and he bet on himself, and he bet on himself big time, and it has paid off in spades. And as part of that stat line last night, don't forget he had a little chase down block on Devin Booker now. Ooh. It led to a nice little Pacers fast break. So all seriousness, incredibly proud of him. And I just know that he's just scratching the surface, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this in the future. But this is just a testament to what hard work and commitment and high character do.
That's right. And some of the star players in the Southern Conference, and he's definitely one of them. And he was the star of Better Together, Furman's Championship Quest, the docuseries, which you can see on Prime Video. I promise you, he will entertain you. There is no question. All right, that wraps up our Legend edition of SoCon Fast Break. Until next time, may all your jumpers hit nothing but the bottom of the net.